All right, today we're going to be showing you guys how to use a soil texture triangle. And the purpose is one of these is when we know what percent of clay, silt, and sand, that actually creates a type of soil combination. And that soil combination lets us know the qualities of that soil and maybe how we need to improve it or if it's already really good. And so with the soil triangle, we know that there are three types of soil. They are sand, silt, and clay. And because there's three of them, that's why we're going to use a soil triangle. Now, just to point out a couple things, here we have the percent sand, so it's going to start from 0, come over here to 100, and then the way we read it is 10% goes all the way up there, 20%, 30%, 40%, and so on until we get to 90, and then over here at the very end, we have 100. Next, we have percent clay. Percent clay are these numbers, and these ones go horizontal. So right here we have 50%, and so we can see that these ones go horizontal. And it's always going to be the skinny lines, not the thick lines in there. And then the last type of soil texture that we can start looking at is percent silt. This goes from 0 here down to 100, and these go on that downward diagonal looking at it. So that's the basics on how we're going to read it. In your Canvas, you should have a handout that has 10 problems, and we're going to go through those right now. So the first one is 30% clay, 60% silt, and 10% sand. Now, because these equal 100%, we only ever have to do 2 of these because the third one automatically will fill in the difference in there. So we'll start with the clay. So I'm going to find 30% clay. So we come up here, here's our clay. Here is 30% right here. And I'm going to draw a line right there. So we have 30% clay. Now we're going to do this silt. We have 60% silt. We find the silt, we come down here, 60%. We draw our line. And where they bisect, that lets us know what type of soil. So looking around this dark shaded part right here, this tells us that number 1 is silt clay loam. Now we didn't ever measure sand, but if we did, you're going to find that it's going to meet in that exact same spot in the process. So that's how we do number 1. We'll go ahead and do number 2 together. With number 2, we're going to do, let's actually start with the sand this time, just so we can make sure we see it. This one is 40% sand. So I find sand right here. I see that it goes on that diagonal. I'm going to draw my line. It also has 40% silt. Find my silt. 0 to 100, here's 40. Go down that line. And I can see that this one right here is just loam. All right, moving on to number 3. We have 5% clay. This is our first one that's not right on a line. So we're going to have to estimate to where 5% is. So we have 0 to 100. Here's 5% of our clay. Bring that line across. Next, we have 20% silt. Put that right there. And we can see, man, it looks like it's intersecting right between those two. So I'll go ahead and do the third one just to verify where it is. And we have 75% in there. So this one right here, if you put sandy loam, I wouldn't be mad, but I'm going to put loamy sand, because they're right on the border of each other. Let's go ahead and I'll do 2 more with you right now. So let's do number 4. Number 4 is our 47% clay. So we get clay, we're going to go to 47%, which will be right about here. Draw it along horizontally. And we also have 48% silt, right in about here. And you can see that we have silty clay. All right, number 5, this will be the last one that I do with you. We're going to start with the sand, so let's do 81% sand. So here's our sand coming along this way. Put it right almost on there. It's just above. And then we're going to do 10% clay. Okay, once again, this is one that meets right on an intersection. So let's do the 9% silt. 9% silt is going to be just inside of that line. And we're going to call that one, since it's just on the inside of the line, call it loamy sand. So number 5 will be loamy sand. So go ahead and finish the rest of these using the soil triangle, and I'll post the answers, but make sure that you can do them on your own. And if you do, you should be set up pretty good. If you have any questions, give me a call, text, or email, and good luck.